So recently, I've been messing around with simulations in Maya, and that made me realize, do you know what kinds of video simulations are good for? Satisfying videos. I've made 3 satisfying renders, one with a liquid simulation, one with a smoke simulation, and one with a cloth simulation. At the end of the video, I'll play the simulation, so make sure to stick around for that. This video is inspired by Corridor Crew and their competitions to make the most satisfying renders. But enough of that, let's jump right in and talk about the first render. So for my first satisfying render, I want to make a liquid simulation. Like I said earlier, this is my first time really doing any kind of simulation in Maya, so I felt that a satisfying render would be the perfect way to learn how to do this. For this, I'm using what's called a Bifrost liquid simulation, which is one of Maya's many types of liquid simulations. But anyways, for this render, I think it'll be easier to explain what I want to do once I have a basic scene laid out. So now that we have a basic shape here, or just a basic scene, whatever, I feel like it's now a bit easier to explain kind of what I want to do. So basically what I want to do is have some sort of like faucet either somewhere over here or like above it, like pour in just enough water, and then I want to somehow freeze it, and then afterwards I want to have the door either rotate or move out of place, and then the ice will shatter on the ground here, and then maybe afterwards I can have some sort of cube or like a broom or something off to the side here, push it all out of the way, and then reset the loop. So that's kind of my idea here for this first render, and so I'll get back when I have more stuff done. So after that, what I did was simulate and cache the liquid simulation, and I K-rigged the broom, so that way when the end moved, the handle moved along with it. I also froze the water and shattered it when it hit the ground. After all the pieces went flying everywhere, I animated the broom to sweep them all away. Also, can I just say I have so much more respect now for people who like do this kind of thing, because I had to individually like set like an initial velocity for all of these different things, which took like an hour and a half. And so like if I go here, you can see I have initial settings, like all of these values are kind of tweaked for each individual one. They're all slightly different. So I will just finish texturing this up, and then I will actually show you guys the render at the end of the video along with the other two, so that way I get more watch time. If you like the way this render looks and want to learn more about Bifrost liquid sims, I highly recommend checking out this YouTuber named Sang Sang. He makes really good tutorials, although he speaks Korean. So if you don't speak Korean, that basically just means that you have to turn on YouTube's auto translate captions, which aren't really that good, but if you follow along with what he's doing, you'll be fine. Real quick before we continue with this video, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, then make sure to leave a like, and while you're down there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. This video took almost a month to make, and it took a lot of effort, so your support would be greatly appreciated. Also, shameless plug, something I've never really mentioned on the channel before is I have a Roblox UGC page, which basically means I make Roblox cosmetics. So if you guys want to go check that out, it'll be the first link down in the description. Anyways, let's continue with the video. For my second render, I want to do a smoke simulation, but I don't want to do just any smoke simulation. I want to make one of these waterfall incense burners where the smoke acts like water, but it's still smoke. And for this second render, I went in way over my head. I'm going to zoom in here. Way over my head. It took almost 2 weeks to make and over 14 hours to render. It took such a long time to make this. So yeah, that's alrighty guys, so now I'm gonna start working on the second render. Let's start off, obviously first thing we need to start off with is a fluid. So I go to fluids, and I'm going to do 3D containers. What's different about this fluid compared to the last render I did is the last render I used a Bifrost fluid, and for this one I'm just using a regular one because I tried experimenting with Bifrost smoke fluids, and I couldn't get the material to work. So this actually looks like very similar to what I want to do. So yeah, my smoke simulations look pretty close to actual smoke, which you'll see in a second. I spent over 2 days just tweaking all the values for the smoke simulation. I'm not really gonna go over that in this video here, but if you want to see exactly how I did it, leave a comment down below, and if there's enough comments or there's a comment with enough likes, I'll make a short or something. So yeah, eventually I got it to kind of looking like this. And so what I've actually gone and done is completed the whole obstacle course here. And so this is kind of just all the colliders I'm going to use. Imagine this wall here. This wall here is going to be like the tree trunk here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the smoke's going to be running down a tree. So basically I made the collider for the smoke to run down, and then I'm going to model the tree itself around the colliders. And so I did it this way because it'll be easier for me, and It might be more laggy if the smoke simulation interacted with a super complex object like the tree itself. I don't know. I didn't try it. For the tree, I modeled it using curves and sweeping those curves or creating mesh around the curves. I also used curves to create the branches by extruding parts of the tree along the curve. After I finished modeling the tree, all I really had to do from there was add the final touches, texture everything, and then just render it out. Another thing that went into all three of these renders that I haven't really talked about yet is the sound. Sound is very important when it comes to satisfying renders. And a lot of the sounds I was able to get just straight off of YouTube. But some of the sounds I had to record myself because I couldn't find a good one on YouTube, or I couldn't find one on YouTube at all. Here are some of the sounds that are playing right now, and I use these sounds across all three of my renders. Speaking of all three of my renders, let's move on to my third and final render. Alright, so for my third and final render, I'm going to do a cloth simulation. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining this one because I made this in only like 4 days because I wanted to get this video out by the end of March. My third video is going to be based off of one of these mini room renders here, such as this one here made by welldone_Sophie on Instagram and ArtStation. But I want to do mine a little differently. I want to add some movement to mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the bed make itself using cloth simulations and other physics simulations. I'm gonna have the comforter come out of some doors on top of the ceiling, and then I'm gonna have the pillows follow after and perfectly make the bed. For the texture of the comforter and the pillows, I was originally gonna use some based off of IKEA, which I use for my bed myself, but then I found this other website here that makes it a lot more customizable. And the link's on screen here if you're interested in checking it out. It's mostly used for architectural stuff, but I found that it works really well here too. So yeah, so that's basically everything I did for the third render. And now let's move on to watching the final products. Alright, now it's the time of the video where I will play the final renders. If you've watched the video up to this point so far and are enjoying it, or if you skipped to the end, because I know there's some of you out there, then once again, make sure to hit that like button, and while you're at it down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button because this video did take a long time to make. Anyways, I'm going to play the videos 2 times because they all are perfect loops. So, here's the first render. Alright, that was the first render. Now, here's the second one. Alright, that was the second render. Now here is the third and final render. Let's start making And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.